This call is now being recorded.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. No problem. My PPT is visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Good. Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, okay,
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am.
I'll just wait. Okay. Today's topic of my discussion is online education and ODL, of flexible approach to education. Okay, all of you might be aware of what is ODL, what is online learning, or what is correspondence education. Just we'll have a look to it and we'll proceed. Okay. Now first we'll move on to the what is correspondence education. Correspondence education. As all we know, okay, it is the prior to distance education. Correspondence education is commonly defined as the method of providing education to non-resident students, who can't come to school, or who are not able to attend the schools at their ease. So for them, the lessons are or exercises are mailed through email or through post. Okay, and they return it back to the, after completing their assignments, or they return it back to the center or their university. Now, correspondence education employs older methods to supply study material, such as by post or emails, and hence the communication flow is very slow and top-down one-way method. Okay, not student-centered. It's another feature is that it's not student-centered. Whatever is given to the student, he has to learn. Okay. In the past, high schools and universities offered correspondence courses. Still, some universities offer correspondence courses as a method of distance learning. Okay. Next comes the distance learning. What is distance learning? Distance learning is where education of students who may not always be physically present at school, or where the learners and the teachers are separated in both time and distance. Okay. It has been started with the Swedish newspaper advertisement opportunity, where a composition was made to be learned through the medium of post. Okay, the impact of new media, particularly digital connective and technologies, and delivering courses from the distance has triggered a new interest towards the open and distance learning opportunities. The advent of open education resources, or the open, what we call that OER, the open educational resources, and the massive online open courses, MOOCs, that attempt to provide learning access to a wide audience. The scope of distance education has been increasing day by day. So for that reason, these things are came to existence. That MOOCs has helped a lot to cater the needs of all the students at distance. Okay. Next, we move on to the idea revolves around the self-study, where universities and colleges, institutes offer online courses and sorry, I hope it's visible to you. Okay. Now we move on to the open education. What is open education? This open education is used to describe a learning situation in which learners have the flexibility to choose from a variety of options in relation to the time, place, instructions, and methods, and the modes of access, and factors related to their learning process. So it is more wider than distance learning. It is open, because the students have a choice to choose from a cafeteria. Okay. The European Commission is a way of carrying education, often using digital technology. Sometimes online education and open education is used simultaneously. Its aim is to widen access and participation to everyone by removing barriers and making learning accessible, abundant, and customized for all. Okay. This was open learning. Now, what exactly is online learning? Now, open learning, distance learning, correspondence learning, online learning, these are all interchangeable words we use sometimes for the same thing. And online learning is a form of education where a great platform is given to the students, and a digital platform is given to the students. Okay. And now, here, where the instruction and learning takes place over the internet and through digital learning tools or platforms like open learning platforms or online learning platforms, learning management system, LMS. Online learning relies profoundly on technology, teaching through technology to deliver educational content. Now, it facilitates communication between instructors and learners and assist learners' progress. Okay. I hope you have understood. Now, is online education, also known as virtual education, compared to distance learning. Online is far more interactive because in distance learning, once the material is being sent to the student, he has to contact on phone, or there is no such as online meetings with the. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not happen. In distance learning, the students uh, have the opportunity to contact with the. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Okay. 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 You all speak together, so I get confused. Okay. Thank you. Now, since online learning is far more interactive, why we call it interactive? Because here the students have the opportunity to have sessions as we are having right now. You know? We are interacting with each other. In distance education, we lack such communication. Okay. Many discussions take place between teachers and students through an online digital platform. You know? After COVID or pandemic hit, the scope of online education has emerged to a greater extent. Okay, it has picked up a higher speed than ever. Now we move on to the features of what are the features of distance or online education system. Learning materials and lectures are available online. Whatever the students have to study, it is already available online. Okay, they can reach to the material. They are not waiting for the books to come, and it is available online also. Learners can stay at home and taking the course from the online university or other institution. They will usually also have the opportunity to attend in-person workshops, residencies, or other learning components. But the material is primarily taught through online courses. This is the fact. In this mode, the students receive their course materials and other resources by email or post. This type of learning places a profound emphasis on independent study. Most of the time, students have to go for independent study. Students are expected to use the course material to complete the curriculum on their own. Okay, because a little help is given to the by the instructor or the counselors, but most of the time they have to complete the work on their own. Okay. Next comes okay. Next is that teacher and students really interact at places called the study centers. Earlier, it was a trend that students are called for on weekends or on Sundays or in holidays. They have to come and take the classes, contact classes. But now the trend is that the students go for there because they are more learned. So they go for the self-study. But it is important to follow the deadlines for the exams and project submissions. Some distance classes are in person also, like workshops and practicals. They have to go for the study centers and complete their practicals or workshops. These programs, which combine regular classroom instructions with the distance learning, are also known as hybrid. We sometimes we call it hybrid, blended, or correspondence courses. Further, we will have a look at it. Teachers and students rarely interact with this, and next we have here what is ODL, online education, versus traditional. If we compare the two, here you can see when we are going to compare the two. Yeah, do you see the slide? How the online education and traditional, how it varies. Okay, in online or ODL, we use the internet, But in traditional method, we use the traditional method, that is chalk and talk classroom. In a confined classroom, we have to take class. And here online depends on the elements, and here depends on the books, or that takes place on on a virtual classroom. Or here it's a virtual classroom, and here it takes place of a brick and mortar classroom, confined classroom. Now personalized, even you are going in a bus or you are going in a train, you can connect to your online class. But in traditional classes, you have to be there in the classroom itself. Now, personalized learning approach, one size fits all approaches. Once the teacher is there in the classroom, he doesn't care about what the students are understanding or not. But here it's personalized learning approach. Teacher has to cater to the needs of all the students personally. Okay. Next is highly flexible, the distance education or the ODL. Next, it is less flexible because whatever the teacher is supposed to teach, the students have to take. Either they are understanding or not, the teacher doesn't care. Sometimes some teachers are good. More affordable than traditional because it is less expensive. Students are not supposed to pay for the commutation or for the books or for the material is coming to their home only. Less affordable than online, does not involve traveling, involves traveling to the institution. So all these things makes the traditional education to be overcome by the online education system. I hope you have understood this. Next, we move on to the, let's go for some, here it is. Online education is becoming increasingly, increasingly popular among the students. As they can gain, it is convenience and flexibility to their doorstep, and they can reach the material or they can reach the experts at their doorstep only. To better understand the emergence and progress of online and ODL, let's briefly have to look at the history of it. Okay, here you can see the history. Uh, it started with a period of uh, early in 1950s and 60s. Early experiments with computers were going on. Based on instruction, laid the groundwork for what would later become online learning. Then a program such as Plato, that is program logic and automatic teaching operations, introduced interactive learning experience through computer terminals connected to centralized mainframe computers. These symbols systems enable students to access course materials, complete assignments, and communicate with the instructors remotely. A few years later came the concept of distance learning, which involves delivery instruction to students who are not physically present in the traditional classroom setting, further boosts this evolution. Now, institutions such as Open University in UK and the University of Phoenix in US pioneered distance learning models, advantaged postal mail, radio broadcast, and eventually early forms of online communication to reach the learners. Okay. Next, the late 20s. In the late 20s, uh, yes, here. In the late 20s, and 21st century witnessed the rise of LMS, which provided centralized platforms for delivering, managing, and tracking online activities. Platforms such as Moodle, modular object-oriented dynamic learning environment, which was first open source LMS, revolutionized the way education content was delivered and facilitated. Now, collaboration between instructors and learners in a virtual environment were able to take place here. Then, in the late, then the rise of massive open online courses, that is MOOCs, came to be. Years 2006 onwards, the advent of MOOCs further transformed the landscape of online learning. MOOC platforms started offering free and low cost access to courses from leading universities and institutions around the world, reaching millions of learners globally. MOOCs popularized the concept of open and learning. Uh, yes, can you see the slide? Yeah. Uh, Okay, now accessible online learning, sparkling discussions about the future traditional higher education and lifelong learning. At present, innovation and expansion of online education is still continued with the support of virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence technologies in education. Okay, we can say the future of online education is very bright in the context of uh, today's context if we talk about. Okay, now what are the objectives, what were the objectives with which the distance educations get started? So to first of all, it was to provide the teachers with necessary tools and guidance to connect with the students remotely. There is no need to be in person with the students. So it is the teachers can contact to the students from anywhere to from any place. Okay, to give freedom to both learners and educators to help them pursue their learning goals with technology that makes learning easy and fun. Next is to offer learners to choice in what they learn by providing learners options that work with a variety of learning styles. So each and every child can learn on his own, with his own pace, with his own time, with his own material. He can obtain some material extra from that, also learning from the learning material. So it is a very good opportunity for the students and teachers also to allow. Or now teachers get more time for their creativity, for their subject enhancement and learning, lifelong learning for the teachers also. To allow teachers to innovate, yeah, here it is, innovate and incorporate technology and distance learning tools into their lesson planning and instruction. So these were the basic objectives of distance learning with which it started. Next is, how does online and distance learning works? Okay, so let's have a look at it. Online education typically consists of lectures, readings, quizzes, and discussions accessible through the internet. Student can access course material on their computer or mobile learning devices anytime and anywhere. Most online courses also have virtual classrooms where students can collaborate in real time and ask questions to the academic counselors or teaching assistants. Lectures may be recorded and archived, allowing students to listen and re-listen if they need additional clarification. They can save it for offline also, so that they can use them without the net facility. Next, quizzes and tests can also be taken online, offering a more interactive learning experience than traditional forms of education. Online education offers flexibility to students to learn and grow at their own pace. Finally, discussions are an integral part of many online courses and allow students to interact and collaborate with one another on essential topics and related to the course material. Reading material can also be available in PDF or ebooks forms, making it easy for the students to access at their convenience. Thus, one can say that online education provide quality education at your fingertips. है ना? Now it has fingertips. Now you can touch any thing and it will turn your knowledge just at your fingertips. Now, online, how we categorize online education. There are three ways or four will discuss here. First is the synchronous learning. What is synchronous learning? That is the learning that is taking place at the same time. Is the educator and the learner is present at the same time. That we call synchronous. It refers to the method of education delivering that happens in real time. I hope it is available to you. Yes, that happens in real time. It requires live communication online. This involves video conferencing tools like as we are having right now. It is synchronous. Google Meets, Zoom, Skype, chat rooms, and virtual classrooms. We can have this. Synchronous learning proves less flexible than other forms of distance learning. After all, students must meet their instructor and sometimes their classmates at pre-scheduled time. Okay, synchronous learning mimics the structure of traditional classroom instruction with scheduled lectures, discussions, and other activities. They are same as traditional, but it may be that they are taking on with the help of a net, okay, internet. This approach limits the students' ability to learn at their own pace. So, as in asynchronous, they have their own time, they have their own pace, they have their own materials to learn. So here, a limitation is there. It may frustrate some learners who crave the freedom of asynchronous classroom. Okay. Next is asynchronous classroom. That is, asynchronous is learners access course material and complete assignment at their own pace. While there may be deadlines for assignments and exams, online students have flexibility in terms of when and where they engage with the content. Asynchronous learning typically involves pre-recorded lectures, discussion forums, online quizzes, or and other interactive elements. Okay. So that was asynchronous, and now comes the hybrid learning. What is hybrid learning? Uh, it's an integration of synchronous and asynchronous distance learning. Hybrid distance learning is most popular form of the distance learning that implies students accessing the course at a designated time and pre-recorded lessons. Instructors provide learners with pre-scheduled classroom activities they should complete to proceed to the next section. Students might be given tests, quizzes, surveys, and other forms of assignment after completing a lesson or a section. These courses encourage interaction between the students and communication with experts. Students can ask questions also, and they can share their opinions, their feedbacks to the students as needed. Okay. Next comes the blended learning. This approach combines online instruction with face-to-face. It is, for example, like traditional plus distance learning. So we call it a blended learning. Learners may attend some classes in person while completing others online. Blended learning offers the benefits of both traditional and as well as online education, providing flexibility while still allowing for direct engagement with instructors and peers. Okay. Uh, Now, what are the different modes of, if we talk about the modes of distance learning, they are the next, let's explore certain here modes. For example, like video conferencing. It is video conferencing is one of the traditionally meeting where two or more participants use video to connect over the internet. This is a form of synchronous communication with the tools like Google Meet, Zoom, Blackboard, Collaborate, Adobe, Connect, or other conferencing softwares. Teachers and students interact together no matter where they are located. Now, video conferencing enhances students' instructors' interaction and provides a structure for lesson planning. It remains a vital component of distance learning. Next comes the hybrid distance learning. Okay, hybrid distance learning, what does it say? Hybrid distance education combines synchronous and asynchronous method. Students receive deadlines to complete assignments and exams. Then they work at their own pace. Okay, here there's some flexibility for the students. They submit assignments through online forums. They maintain contact with their instructors, yet they work at their own pace. As students progress, they gain access to new modules. Who thrives for the distance students that love independence? Those students who love independence, they go for the hybrid distance education. Now, next आ जाता है fixed time, open schedule. Here you can see open schedule online courses, and under this synchronous category you will find open schedule online instructions, such as courses provide students with plenty of freedom to complete course. Students receive online textbooks, bulletin boards, MOOCs, Google Classrooms, email. All these platforms help the students to complete their course. Students are given a set of deadlines. Then the instructors lets them schedule at their own pace. Students who value learning independently excel with the format. It requires significant self-disciplines and motivation. Students who lack the right skill set may find this approach daunting. They may feel overwhelmed by the presentation to the material. Of the material, they may lack the motivation to work through the course in an effective way. Because they get delayed and delayed. They can understand, and they can put the things at any time. Okay, so it makes them more you know uh, you know what we call it, okay, they oh kal kar denge, aaj kar denge, so it makes them now fixed time online courses. Here they have to submit the assignment, submit their whatever work is assigned to them, task on time. Okay, students log in the learning site at designated time, have a mandatory live chats components, and they must complete pre-scheduled classroom activities at a specific pace. Okay, so here they are a little bit tighter than that the open time. These activities often include chats and discussion forums, fixed time online courses, encourage students interaction, but there is little room for self-pacing. Okay, because everything is fixed, so the students have to be uh, very cautious about the particular about the things they have to complete. Now, next is the who prefers distance education. Who is going to prefer the distance education? Now, today, several learners like to achieve educational qualification with distance learning programs. Now, UGC has also given this ruling that one can have a regular course along with the distance course. So, students are preferring for that. Now, this includes college students, high school students, and office going people. Some companies also use distance education programs to train their workers. Most commonly, distance education is useful for learners who are living in the rural areas. You know? They can have different courses through distance learning. Sometimes international students also enroll overseas universities without leaving their home country. Okay, so it is very helpful for them. Next, it is the key benefits. Now we move on to the key benefits of online learning. Online learning offers several advantages, like including accessibility for learners with the geographical or scheduling constraints, and flexibility in pace and scheduling. It provides accessibility, first of all, to education for learners from various locations and to those who are unable to attend the classroom physically. For them, it is a boon, thus enabling individuals from remote or undeserved areas to access high quality education by breaking down the geographical barriers that they may not have been feasible otherwise. Okay, so for them it is very comfortable to sit at home and learn or get educated or get the degrees. It supports a variety of resources, including texting based materials, videos, audios, recordings, interactive modules, ebooks, live streaming, lectures, and some more. It leads a global integration, that is connecting learners with instructors and peers from around the world. So it is very helpful for them. Fostering cross-cultural exchange, that is different cultures they come to know about, collaboration and exposure to diverse perspectives and experiences, by providing 24 by 7 access, that is to the learning material. Online platforms empowers learners to take control of their education and pursue their academic and professional goals on their own terms. Okay, next, it offers flexibility, allowing them to access educational resources and participate in self-paced learning programs fitting in their daily schedules. Unlike the traditional brick and mortar classrooms, like traditional classrooms with fixed schedules, online learning caters to the diverse needs of the students according to their time, according to their place, according to their pace, and all those things. Whether they are full-time working professionals seeking to enhance their skills, or individuals with busy lifetimes balancing multiple commitments, they can complete or their education also along with those commitments. Now, cost effectiveness and scalability. Uh, for example, one on the most significant advantage of online is that it is very cost effective. You know, not too much is being spent on education here, because most of the time you are saving the money on your books, you are saving on your commutation, you are saving on your copies or any other sources that are needed in the traditional classroom. You're saving money for that. Okay. Next, scalability. Scalability is cost effectiveness. Maybe ये भी है कि the advantage of online is reduced financial cost. Like for example, the cost points is students' transportation, students' meals, and most importantly, real estate infrastructure. Whatever the school is also saving, the student is also saving. Okay. Additionally, all the course or study material are available online, thus creating a paperless learning environment, which is more affordable, while also beneficial to the environment also. This cost affordability makes education more accessible to a wider audience, including individuals with limited financial resources and those unable to afford traditional tuition fees, etc. Scalability, moreover, online learning platforms have the potential to rapid scalability. Now, that means allowing institutions to accommodate a larger number of students without the constraints of physical space instruction. As in traditional classroom, we have to manage only 30 or 35 or 40, almost 50. है ना? But in distance, you can have 100 students, you can more than 100 students. This scalability is particularly advantageous for organizations looking to expand their educational offerings to reach new markets without significant investment in infrastructure. Then आ जाते हैं efficient learning environment. That is, students who take online courses don't have to worry about being in a physical classroom and can focus on their students without the distractions of other students or outside noise. So in the comfort of their home, they can study with peace and sound. Okay. Convenient learning tools such as online tutorials and simulations are often available for students to use at their own pace, है ना? To reinforce course material and gain a deeper understanding of the subject matter. Next, improved communication. Improved communication here. Okay. Now, improved communication, online courses, most of the time students can access to discussion boards and video conferencing to communicate with peers and instructors worldwide. है ना? This help to improve their accents, the presentations, their ability to speak to the native speakers of English, and so communication skills will improve. This further encourage collaboration and help to build relationships among learners who may never have met in person. Okay. Next, the variety of courses. There are many online courses ranging from academics, technical skills to business management. So individuals can choose the number of courses, okay, that best suits their interest and career goals. Next is improved time management. Online courses require students to develop good time management skills. With fewer school hours and days to complete their assignments, projects, and others work, students learn how to prioritize their studies and other commitments. Okay, and this helps them to become better organized and disciplined, more efficient in the long run. This ability comes in use in their real life also. Now, time management skills. When students transitions into the working world, time management becomes crucial. A distinct advantage is that skill is cultivated in a student while taking online classes, increasing their overall efficiency. They must construct a study schedule while managing attendance and the responsibilities together. Okay, next is it allows for greater personalization, customization, and adaptability of diverse learning styles. Enables the instructors to tailor out the learning experiences. Now, tailoring the learning experience to the individual learners' preferences, abilities, and learning styles. They have to manage the learners, all sort of learners, all kind of learners together in a single class. Okay. Additionally, online courses often incorporate various multimedia elements such as videos, animation, gamification, and to enhance motivation and engagement and retention. So all the students can be accommodated in a single classroom. So with a variety of learning materials, we can handle the varied interest and varied moods of the students in the classroom. Okay, self-paced learning. It is again, online classes allow students to work through course material at their own pace, which can be particularly beneficial for slow learners and those who need more time than in typically allowed in a traditional classroom setting. This way we can say it is very helpful. Learners can choose the format and pace of their studies, engage with interactive exercises and simulation, complete coursework, and receive instant feedback to track their progress and identify areas for improvement. So, on the basis of the feedback, they can come to know where they are lacking, where they are stronger, where they need some improvement. So, all these things are very helpful for them. Now, academic options, students can go for classes available means that both teachers and students can find the right course for their academic goals and interests according to their needs, according to their interest, according to their feasibility. They can go for the course, without being limited by geography or availability of the at a particular school. There is no concern that they have to go to the particular school and it is not available in a vicinity, so they have to go to the different place. No, this nothing is such kind of thing is there in the online courses. Now, improved students attendance at because of all these facilities, all these advantages, we have improved the student attendance in the online courses, as classes can be taken from home or location of their choice. There are fewer chances for students missing out the lessons. Okay, blended learning techniques and online learning can be an additional benefit in terms of students' interaction and interest with mixed and blended learning techniques to enhance the quality and efficiency of education. It helps in putting a diverse range of instructive resources, enabling to deliver content in more than one way to eliminate the monotony and boring sessions. So we can go for that. And now we want more to the next point. That is, what are the disadvantages? Now we have discussed the advantages. Now there are certain disadvantages also. For example, inability to focus on the screen. Long-term viewing of the screen may be harmful for the students. For many students, one of the biggest challenge of online learning is struggle with focusing on the screen for long period of time, and they are unable. They develop certain health issues. With online learning, there is also a greater chance for students to be easily distracted by social media or other sites also. They may go for surfing. There's an imperative for the teachers to keep their online classes crisp and engaging. So for that reason, it is very necessary that teachers should be more interactive in their distance classes, so that they can retain the interest of the students, and their motivation should be there, and to help the students stay focused on the lessons. Okay, uh, there are certain technological issues also. Another key challenge, which is this, that technological is the main challenge, because somewhere there may not be in connectivity is lacking. Somewhere there's electricity is not there in rural areas, mainly in the rural areas. While internet penetration has grown in leaps and bounds over the past few years, in smaller cities and towns, a consistent connection with decent speed is a problem. Without a consistent internet connection for students or teachers, there can be a lack of continuity in learning of this for the child. This is unfavorable for the educational process. Technology can be a great tool for learning, but it also has its drawbacks. Ulti. Online education requires a reliable internet connection, an up-to-date computer or mobile device, and the right software. If any of these components fail, it can lead to technical difficulties and delays in completing the assignments or taking exams. E-learning depends on students to have complete access to technology in school regularly. Students don't have basic access to computers or other devices for the duration of the school, it will be difficult to accurately implement this online learning. Okay, so there are certain issues like this, and next is harder to access the technical equipments. At a moment, student need device with an internet connection to take online classes. है ना? Realistically, students will need a device. They can also type assignments such as a laptop or tablet or a keyboard, है ना? They can't type their assignments on a mobile phone. So this is a fact that there is a need of some bigger devices than a mobile. It is costly to purchase these devices and upfront, especially if you have multiple children in online classes. Now parents have to manage whom to give the laptop, whom to give the tablet, or whom to give the mobile phone. But all, because all are in online classes, so all need all the devices. They need on their own devices to complete the school work. Okay, so it is a bit of hard luck for them. This keeps classes inaccessible for lower income students. Lower income groups won't be able to manage these resources. To circumvent this issue with online learning environments, such as some school district provide laptops. If it is possible for the school district schools, if they can provide laptops for the students, or the tablets to the students, they will be able to do the class for them. So that students can participate even if they can't afford to purchase devices themselves. Or they can have the libraries, digital libraries at school, so that students can come and complete their assignments, and they can study at home. But for completing their assignments, they can come to the labs, or the digital libraries. Unfortunately, this is no way for a global solution, as many schools districts don't have the funds to provide the devices. That is another problem. This problem is even more true for students with learning disabilities who require specialized accessibility hardwares. It is more harder for them because they need some audio, some videos, or visual assistant devices to access their materials. Next comes the require more self-control and harder to focus. Online learning can certainly make focusing on for long periods a time a challenge. Students are no longer in an environment dedicated to learning and are surrounded by distractions like phones, delivery, people, or chores like doing some laundry or walking dog. The lack of structure means students need to be good at their own time management. है ना? If the time management is good, then online education is well. Otherwise, if you are distracted with the home things going on at your home, then every time you will be distracted and your attention is diverted. So again, you have to sit again, and you then regain your attention. That takes time. So time management is very uh, necessary for online learning. This is an added challenge on top of learning that students don't need to think about during in-person classes. In in-person classes, there is nothing like such of kind. But in online classes, when you are sitting at home, right now, as you people also might be having distractions. Some phone call comes, or some person visits to your home, and you are on online class. Now you get distracted. And you forget where were you. Then again, you have to recall everything. Now, students may also find they run into challenges or don't understand the material when learning online. You know? Sometimes that material is too hard for them to understand. So this they get confused. You know? They don't have any person to ask about clarifications and how for whom to clarify. They'll meet their counselor at a fixed time. So up to that time, they have to wait for that. Okay. Hopefully, the instructor has set up a way to contact them to answer questions. But if not, this will become a frustrating for a student and will make likely cause them to lose motivation for learning. You know, if the instructor is not available and they are not getting the material according to their needs, and so this creates frustration among the students, and they don't feel it comfortable with the online learning. Next comes the lack of hands-on learning. That means certain information leads itself better on to online learning than others. For example, learning maths or biology online will be relatively easier online since involves a lot of visual or auditory explanations. So in maths, you need clarification, you need some explanation. So for that, online learning may not be that much successful. However, learning things like medical examination, dental work, or even pottery or another trade might be tough in because of the hands-on components. Because here you need some practical work, and if it is not available, if the trainer is not teaching you in person, then it will be very difficult for you. For kinesthetic learners, it might be more practical to learn in person or purchase the training equipments you need to practice your own new skills hands-on at home. So it is very difficult for them to next comes the create extra work for teachers. Now, teachers become teachers because they love to teach, not necessarily because they have an affinity for technology. Okay, this became extremely clear when teachers were first asked to moving entire course and curriculum into an online format. Now, when the COVID came, na, all of a sudden the teachers were asked to take the online classes, and they were surprised how to take the online classes, how to teach the students. So that is not the part and parcel of their work, because it became an extra part of their life. Okay. For many teachers, this meant lots of extra work, recording lectures, moving tests and assignments, preparing quizzes or online assignments for the students, and organizing video calls, live lessons, and homework submission portals. For teachers who are not techno savvy, then that would be a difficult task for them. Teachers might also run into issues with students not participating as much online and not having as much opportunities to collaborate. If the students are, they are very interested and motivated, then the teacher will find some ways to teach them. Okay, but if the students are also skipping some videos came during pandemic, na, okay, students were dancing and the lesson is going on and they are dancing and they are doing some other course of work. So such things happen, and the teacher also loses interest. What, whom to teach, whom am I teaching, huh? So a sense of isolation, students can learn a lot from being in the company of the peers. However, in an online class, there are minimal physical interactions between students and teachers. This often results in a sense of isolation for the students. In this situation, it is imperative that the school allow for other forms of communication between the students, peers, and teachers. So it is the duty of the school or the institution that it should make some facilities for such communication. Now, this include online messages, emails, and videos, conferencing that will allow for face-to-face interaction, reduce the sense of isolation. Now, since the student is sitting alone and doing his work, that may not be, no, it is quite boring. Sometimes it is good, but at a time it comes that it gets the child get bored. Okay, so it is now potential social isolation, the need of reflection, solitude, and lack of connections is all too commonplace now. Now, due to the digital learning environment, the students are getting alone or aloof from the society. Signs of social isolation will likely emerge due to prolonged hours of learning online. Okay, so you are engaged for a long time with your online lessons or in online work, online assignments, tasks, or whatever it is. Okay, social isolation combined with a lack of dialogue can lead to mental health issues like excessive stress, nervousness, and anxiety. You are unable to complete your work, you are not able to contact your counselors or your experts. So that creates another form of anxiety among the students. Okay, now, difficult to stay on track. That is, although online education offers excellent flexibility and convenience, but students must be disciplined to manage their own time to keep up with the class and assignments. Without physical interaction and teacher guidance, it can be difficult for some students to stay on track with their studies, because some are not that much good at the studies and self studies. So for self study, they have to manage the time, they have to understand the material on their own. For that reason, they should be a little bit sharper and a little bit attuned with the self study track. Now, a lack of interaction, online education often needs more face-to-face interaction than traditional classroom. This can make it difficult for some students to build relationship with the teachers and classmates. It also means that students may miss out on valuable feedback from instructors and peers that help them to grow and learn. As in the traditional classroom, the teacher is there always to interact with you. either positive or negative, he just give you the feedback, you know. But in online classes there is no one to give you feedback, nothing to react on. So how do you know what are you doing and how you're growing in the course? And at the end of the exam, when you give exam, then only you will be coming to know what were my drawbacks, where was I lacking, you know. So now, compromised communication skills. Online education strategies are highly effective in boosting students' academic understanding. However, there is a lack of communication skills development. It is an area that we often overlook during online sessions. In addition, due to the lack of face-to-face communication in digital setting, students may be hesitant to collaborate effectively when they receive assignments and group projects. They may not be that much comfortable as they are in in their traditional classroom. Okay, managed screen time. Many parents are concerned about the health hazards of having their children spend so many hours staring at the screen. This increase in screen time is one of the biggest concern and disadvantage of the online learning. Most of the students have developed the health issues. Sometimes students also develop bad posture and other physical problems due to staying hunched back and in front of the screen. Okay, a good solution is in this. It would be to give the students plenty of breaks from the screen to refresh their minds and their body. Okay. A simple solution to this would be providing children with frequent breaks to recharge their minds and body. So, as I hope you people all be doing here. Special teachers training. Online schools require teachers to be tech savvy and have the right online teaching skills. So for this reason, the teachers should be trained, especially trained for taking the online classes, constructing the curriculum for online students, developing the tools, developing the tasks, developing the projects. So according to the needs of the students, interest of the students. This can be a difficult transition for some teachers, mainly if they are used to traditional learning methods, because it would be an overload for the teachers. They have to work for the traditional in trend. So it is very difficult for the teachers to do that. Online learning requires teachers to have a basic understanding of using digital forms of learning. However, this is not the case always. Very often teachers have a very basic understanding of technologies. During COVID, many teachers were not comfortable with the online classes. Okay, sometimes they don't even have the necessary resources and tools to conduct online classes. Okay, to combat this, it is important for schools to invest in training teachers with the latest technology updates so that they can conduct their online classes seamlessly. Okay. Uh, Now, during online classes, students can do. Okay. Now, students may get distracted by varied apps and sites on their devices. So, it is very necessary for the students to their interest and motivation is being intact in the lesson. So, your lessons should be very interactive, very effective, and very knowledgeable, so that students may not run away from there. Okay, they may lose their focus because of a big amount of information. Because they have to study a lot of material supplied by the teacher, and they have to manage the time also. And with that, they what they do, sometimes they go to other sites, है ना? And have a lack of face-to-face interaction with the teachers and students. This may also be a reason for students get distracted because they're not facing the teachers, so they can skip anyway. Have a poor internet connection, and yes, that may be another problem, and the student may face time to time, because internet problem is in rural areas, mainly in rural areas, it is very frequent. And I feel isolated. Just we had discussed. Have a laptop without necessary characteristics, है ना? Whatever is necessary for the class to be taken. They may not be able to do that class because that app or that necessity is necessary characteristics is not present in the in their laptop or in their mobile. You know, face technical problems. There are certain technical problems, electricity, internet connectivity, or certain other devices that are required to run that online class. You may not have that. You know, during online classes, educators can't prevent cheating. You know, if you're conducting an online examination, there is a chance, there is 100% chance the students may go for cheating. You know, they go for other devices and they just copy and paste there. Communicate with students in person and explain complex material. You know, so they can't communicate with their peers who they don't know who are there in the class, and they don't have the numbers, they don't have the contact numbers of each person. They, how do they clarify their doubts with the student or their teachers? Because time is fixed. If they are needing to clarify it right now, where do they go? How do they do? So all these problems may arise. Now focus on the practice. Focus on practice is also lacking, because here the students may not be focusing, and for a long time the focus may be distracted. Okay, so they may go for other sites and they will search something else. And you know, Google is very attractive, and whenever you go there and you go for surfing, and you don't know when to come back. You don't know how much time you have wasted there, and on Facebook and your WhatsApp. Now, for have full control of students who neglect assignments. Yeah, you can't. Teachers can't have those students those skip their assignments. They don't give their assignments on time. So where to catch, how to catch? You keep on sending reminders. Just send your assignments and send it. They don't listen, just they, because they don't have time, or they don't are not serious students. So that handling those such students is very difficult for the teachers. Next is the challenges of online learning. Now, there are certain challenges also that online learning and really is facing. Online education offers many benefits such as greater flexibility, reduced costs, better time management, but it is also possesses a few challenges that must be addressed and ensured. Now, first of all, is a lack of motivation in children. Here, many children don't find online learning as stimulating or motivating as in-person classroom instruction. So it is necessary that our course material should be more involving and more motivating, more interesting, to make the let the students intact in the. This can make it hard for them to stay engaged and interested in their studies. Okay. According to statistics, 38% of parents said that one of the major challenges of online learning is that their children lack of motivation to pay attention and engaged during classes. So it is very important that there's a need to to continuously strive to diverse creative ways to deliver the online courses and make the classes as engaging as possible. है ना? So because to remove the dullness and monotony of the class, so it is very necessary for teachers to prepare such lessons or develop such curriculum that let the students be intact in the class. Okay. Now, next, what is internet connection strength? Internet connection is the important factor in delivering, because without internet connection you won't be able to take the class or have a class. Okay, so it is very necessary for the teacher as well as for the students. So online classes are very much demanding the internet connectivity. Having premium broadband or connection may solve the problem, but it's not. It's a foolproof one. Even the process like logging in, what can be quite tedious for the students or teachers. To make the process easier and more efficient, a tool is necessary that can complete this task with just one click. Okay, so it is very necessary that all the necessary apps or necessary facilities that are needed for internet strength, it should be available. The app is also helpful where students and teachers can choose their class or subject and get going. Okay, so it can be handled like this. Now, feeling of isolation, how can we remove this? The learning online can be lonely experience, especially for the younger children. Now, school children are also going for the open education or open schooling. So for them, it is very common that they feel lonely while studying. Okay, and they feel sleepy also. Sometimes they because of learning to strain, because of the strain on the mind, they feel sleepy, drowsy. Students might have access to different social interactions than they didn't in traditional classroom. Therefore, teachers must create community and team spirit by inspiring collaborative learning. Teachers should give them the tasks in group or projects in group so that they communicate with each other. They come out with the isolation, and the schools should also offer networking opportunities for students, like trips. They can conduct trips or excursions or community projects and other activities that would help them to build a strong bond with their peers, okay, and their teachers also. And then online distractions are there. Online distractions can be, it is the students distracted during the online classes. Now, constant pop-ups, the notification from the advertisers or from the companies, videos, blogs, and social media platforms can also cause distractions among students and lead them to mindlessly scroll through these platforms, and they get distracted and they were carried away with these ads and all these things. So that creates distractions in their studies, and they won't be able to concentrate for a longer period of time. The lack of supervision and accountability can majorly contribute to this problem. If there is certain supervision or accountability on the part of the student itself, then he can be there. Otherwise, if the parents are negligible and they are ignoring or students sessions or online sessions, if the parents are present or they are keeping an eye on the students learning, then it may be possible that the student may pay some attention or may remain intact there. Parents or guardians must be present to ensure that the student is focused and altering during classes. Students can use social media blockers or simply turn off your notifications during the study period. Okay, they can do this. Okay. Next is the technical issues. Again, the technical issues is a problem. Our last thing when teaching or learning online, unfortunately, it is inevitable and can cause disruptions in the learning process. To avoid this one, the school should provide 24 by 7 uh, to the students and teachers to address the technical disparities. If the school is there, the institution is there, and the students are local, and they can come to the school and have use that labs and their digital libraries, then it would be feasible for the students and the teachers to use them. Okay. Next is what are the advantages of online education for the parents? How parents be benefited with this platform? Now, better work school balance. Yani ki, parents can struggle to juggle their children's schoolwork with their work commitments. With online education, parents can rest assured that the children will be receiving quality instruction without them having a sacrifice their any personal or professional commitments. No more lunches, rushes, morning commutes, or after school activities. And they school parents are at very they are cool because the student are not supposed to go to school. They are not hurry for the breakfasts and lunches. They can manage their time. They can work according to their commitments. Okay. Increased flexibility. Parents can have greater control over their children's learning by creating schedules and curriculum that best align with the family's needs. Okay. They can have separate rooms for them to study, or they can have special time for their studies that will not disturb the other family members also. Rather than worrying about missing classes to attend sporting events or important meetings, parents can easily adjust the course of instructions to keep up with the whatever life throws. Okay. So it is very important that how the parents are taking interest in the students' studies. Cost saving. Online education is often cheaper than traditional schooling regarding textbooks, materials, supplies, extracurricular activities, and transportation cost is also reduced because as compared to the traditional classrooms. Now accessible anywhere, parents don't need to worry about where their children are located regarding online education. They are sitting at home, they are studying there, they are very carefree. Okay. uh, all educational materials and lessons can be accessed from any device with an internet connection. This means that parents work, travel, or relocate with no longer interfere with their child's education. Now increased parental involvement. Online education allows for a higher level of parental involvement since they can monitor their children progress more closely, with access to all the lesson plans and assignment. Parents can actively participate in the children's learning process also and provide additional guidance whenever needed, okay, by their by the wards. Okay. Next, keep the lines of communication open. Unlike traditional school settings where students can talk with teachers in person, online PTM is necessary for feedback to parents and to keep kids motivated with the to handle assignments on time and stay on track. So teachers can make PTMs, online PTMs, so that to let these parents know how their wards are progressing, or as well as holding daily office hours with email, phone, and chats capabilities can help prevent kids from falling behind in their studying. Now, curriculum based online testing, parents may find such testing as a good way to ensure that wards can apply what they have learned or practically at home. You know, so are this whatever they are learning, is it applicable at home or not? Whatever they are learning. So it is very necessary. Frequent evaluations helps teachers to determine where students struggle with lesson and make plans for addressing and finished lesson learning. Formative assessments such as quizzes, we can go for short evaluations, and conversations with students can help them correct the mistakes. So it is very necessary for them to keep them with the on the track. Set up learning targets. Parents can keep an eye on kids' learning targets and help them to reach specific goals in each lesson. They can track their progress in the lesson, okay, so that they can interfere whenever needed. Set up learning targets. Parents can keep an eye on the kids' learning targets and help them to reach specific goals in each lesson. For instance, if a student struggles with the subject verb agreement, they may consider breaking down lessons into smaller targets, to make it easier for the students to apply proper grammar to their writing. Okay, so it can be such help can be given by the parents to their wards. Now, next, there are four main types of online learning. Uh, that is digital learning games, online learning resources, and what is digital learning games? Kids love playing games. So National Geographic Kids offer fun science, geography, and adventure quizzes and games to entertain and inform the kids. If you want your students to read books online and play educational games, then Fun Brain has countless goodies for them to enjoy. Yeah, now, if they are not good at maths, then Prodigy is maths games, and then Unlock hours for maths learning enjoyment. Most of the apps are there for learning maths and English language. Online learning resources. When the pandemic forced students to stay home, teachers began using various online resources to keep kids engaged and focused. Some of these tools include online lessons and activities. Uh, Resources like online education uses uh, interactive, okay, interactive learning management systems such as Blackboard is to provide students with access to course content. Additionally, web conferencing technologies and the digital whiteboards allow to real life communication between teachers and students or multiple students together. On the other hand, traditional education relies on textbooks, lectures, and other more traditional teaching methods. So it is convenient for students and as well as for the teachers. Now some platforms with advanced features uh, like Learn World is one of that such program. Even go for the extra mile, offering instructors to ability to communicate with their learners, as well as learners can also communize with their peers via online discussion boards in private or public groups and as part of a wider online learning communities. Utilizing learning tools like digital curriculum have more flexibility and hold over lessons without having to engage to those extra hours, evening weekends. You know? So it is flexibility is very much there, accessibility is very much there. So all these features are with the online learning. Next is these are the some learning online learning platforms like list is here. So some are for teachers and some are for students, and uh, anyone can use all these apps. uh, Last is Google Expeditions. Expedition is an important tool where it's a virtual reality teaching tool built with the Google Cardboard. Teachers can choose from the library of 100 plus virtual tips to places like Mars, the Barrier Reef, and the Great Wall of China. They can visit through this Google Expedition, but Google Expedition, was discontinued on June 30th, 2021, and was merged into Google Art and Culture. From Art and Culture, you can also have a tour to the different places or different cultures so that students can get benefit. Okay. Next, uh, okay. Next is Plus. It is an all-in-one marketing solution that will help you to create online courses. It is for the teachers, promote them and manage communication with students. The platform offers you to send emails, campaigns, and web push notifications are clickable media messages that are sent to a user's desktop, mobile or tablet through website or a web app, even when they are inactive. Inactive the site. Okay. uh, SMS can also be sent to the students, conveying any message or a special notification to the students. Now, next is set up chatbots. AI chatbots create an automated communication channels with the students, assist them in finding solutions and speed up the learning process through the courses. Now, for an affordable price, teachers will be able to create an online course and for different purposes: online schools, employees, state training, onboarding, etc. Teachers can share their expertise in an interactive way by using Zenplus. And drag and drop editor to add multimedia. The services allows teachers to apply plenty of content formats like videos, audios, text, PDFs, downloadable items like infographics and other images also. This way, the course will look more attractive and exciting to the students, and students get motivated and prone to learning. Okay. And next is the uh, if teachers have no intention to develop the course by themselves and have a team of professionals, they can add as many instructors to this course and to this app, and they help the teacher to develop their own course. They will manage different tasks like including program development, creating lessons, designing tests, monitoring students progress, and issue certificates on completion of the course. Okay. So all these are very helpful for the teachers. With the help of this platform, the experts team teachers will be able to create a course from a scratch and provide an exceptional experience to the students. So it is very profitable for the teacher to have such courses. And next comes the Ruzuku. Ruzuku is another platform that focuses entirely on creating, selling, and teaching online courses. Okay, the service provides training to its users, so teachers will figure everything out very fast and ready to build courses. And the interface is user friendly, so teachers will create and launch e-learning in no time. Okay. Teachers are able to design a visual course and encourage students to remember the essential information. They can add them to the course so that it will looks more interactive. if the teachers are having their own material, they can add to this platform, okay, and they can develop their own course in a creative manner, okay. Teachers can diversify text with videos, audios, or PDFs in minutes. Na? The platform provides such students with space for their opinion. The students can also give the feedback. They can also give the opinions. How can we more improve the program? Okay. Their service allows users to leave comments and share ideas under the, like in YouTube, as you see in the YouTube, there's a comment section. Similar is this when we use Ruzuku. Ideas under the course images. This way, teachers can make sure that students are involved in teaching learning processes, so it becomes easier for them. IO is a system is a multinational, multifunctional platform that enables teachers to send emails, campaigns, create websites, run this one. Uh, Enables teachers to send emails. Then teachers can also create websites. They can organize webinars or build up online courses with the help of this system. The service is simple to use and doesn't require any technical skills. So an ordinary teacher can also use this software. Once you build your course, teachers can create a website, integrate courses, course access and payments, and sell to it to their students. So you, not only distance teachers, you too can create your own courses with the help of these system platforms. Okay, so go to the Google and search out in detail what all these things mean a lot. And next comes that. Now, our distance learn what makes a good distance learning program? Now, proper pacing is very necessary. That whatever we are doing or doing, we are the best. Now, well paced should be there. The pacing should be there. That means the students should not find themselves bored or overwhelmed by the lessons, projects, or course material. It should be so much organized, so much well organized or well programmed, that the students get involved and motivated and interested in the lesson itself. Okay, the distance learning activities should be include larger projects for which students have ample time to prepare with smaller meaningful assignments. Okay, another amongst them to retain engagement and interest. So teachers should look into the thing that whatever they are supplying to the students, it should be that that impacts the interest of the students. You know? And the student can pace according to the time. That means if you have given them the stipulated time that they have to complete in this stipulated time, that they should complete in that particular time. Now, multimedia integration excellence in the distance learning courses can be tied to the effective use of multimedia learning aids. Integrating podcasts, videos, interactive activities can be very engaging for students and serve multiple learning styles. When purposefully use distance learning activities that incorporate multimedia tools can assist with the retention, of course. In fact, research shows that two-thirds, that 67% of the people understand information better than when communicated visually. You know, all we know. When I hear, I forget. You know, I see, I remember. But when I do, I understand. So let them be there in the engage the students in the tasks or projects or assignments that enable them to uh, be engaged, more engaged in the lessons. Okay, then a quality content, low quality content like endless textbooks, reading and assignments, monotonous lectures, and stock assessment lacking creativity results in low retention of distance learning course material. So the teacher should keep in mind while preparing the content, what type of content, how they are preparing the content, what they are adding to the content, that should be kept in mind. Now, distance learning activities that center on high quality content like engaging videos, passionate lectures, and interactive websites help students to maintain interest, to retain information, and find more success. Okay. Self-directed learning also offers students the ability to make their own discoveries, complete projects in their own way, that works best for them, and focus on the areas of study that they find most interesting are the course highest successful. Okay. Then community connection, great distance learning program recognize that students are often negatively affected by the lack of social interactions with this style of education, and intentionally incorporated with the community in their curriculum. Okay, so community connection should be there while preparing the content. Effective course include group projects where students have to work together, and opportunities for classmates to connect using digital tools. Okay, then multiple learning modalities. The best distance learning opportunity integrate a range of learning modalities that some students retain the engage with information best visually, while others need hear information spoken out loud. Some needs other type of kinesthetic work to be done. So it is very important. We have to keep the multiple learning needs of the students in mind while preparing the content. Now, institution navigation, that is for students to see success, distance learning program should be intuitively to navigate. Ideally, this will be well vetted by the third party. Students should be presented with the well loud out course content that lets them easy to see what to do and what not to do. Access to required resources and information should never be a challenge with a well-informed distance learning course. Now, reliability technology, the most effective distance learning programs use technology that is as universally applicable as possible. Students should not have to download and learn new or unreliable apps, plugins, or extensions to access the or engage with the course material. Additions of technology, while potential interesting, can negatively impact the students' experience in distance learning course. So it is very necessary that you should have the reliable technology, whatever you are using. Now, room for additional exploration. Now, here the balance between providing students with opportunities to dive into additional resources and overwhelming with them too many exploratory opportunities is an important balance for distance learning programs. Creating a clear distinction between required course material and optional enhancement activities is crucial in providing a compelling distance learning experience for the students. Next, what is the future of distance learning? If you see, uh, what is the future? While distance learning, what do we see here? Centuries since COVID, it has taken the pace. है ना? It has been clearly illustrated that physical presence of the classroom is no longer the only option for effective learning. Distance learning students from elementary school or universities or colleges has come a long way with no signs of its growth slowing down. Now it is going to progress rather going back to the traditional schools. So students are more and more students are enrolling day by day in the open online learning. With the rise of remote and hybrid workplaces have continued to adopt distance learning practices as well. Most of the people who are employed in companies and other, they for their career enhancement, they go for the online courses and they seek certain courses like management courses, like other effective courses, whatever they needed. Learning management system and easily incorporated tools for creating educational content like Snagit and Camtasia. Here made it easier than ever to provide quality education in the workplace, regardless of distance. The great news is that each of these tools offer a free trial, so you can start creating amazing learning resources right now. So it is a tool in the hands of a teacher, and they can create their own. If they have the creativity, they can create the more effective content and materials for their students. While distance learning is unlikely to fully replace in-person instruction, it's certainly an effective tool that will continue to be developed and integrated into the increasing number of scenarios. Uh, Teachers can meet their students' diverse needs with, here are certain tips and tools for, I hope we have time, 5 minutes are left. Now, one by one, we'll take. Uh, with distance learning, schools and teachers face a whole new set of challenges. Because it is a new way of learning the things in the distance learning or open online classes. To make learning equitable in this new environment as a classroom teacher, you might be wondering that what you can do and how you can enhance the learning of your students. You might be asking yourself what the how can I support the students struggle with staying focused, and how can I let the students retain their focus on my lessons, and how accommodating so many students. So many questions arises when you are entering the distance scenario. Okay, so or might be struggling to adjust the distance learning, and might be there's some students who struggle in the classroom with thriving a distance learning environment. How to control such notorious students in the classroom, in online class. Huh? So all these issues may be difficult for you to now help students develop new routines. Now, what the strategies you can apply? Let us discuss that. Now here, and what you are supposed to do, schedule work times and break times. Now you it is the teacher who has to decide how to manage the time, and how much time for the breaks you can give, and how much time for work you can assign to the student. Now set up a timer and keep working until it goes off. So once you are entering the class, and your timer should start, and you have to work according to your goals and objectives that you have framed out. Now try different apps to help with focus. You can add as many there's so lots and lots of apps, as we have just seen. Plenty of apps for help teacher to develop their content and make their content more rich and interactive and more demonstrative. So for that reason, you can create a checklist, है ना? What to do and what not to do, है ना? Work on the hardest of the easiest things first. Choose what is hard for you, and how to work for that. So that way you can do. Put your phone in a different room on you, or in your backpack, so that it may not be disturbing you while you're taking class. Find a quiet space to use your headphones to block out noise, है ना? So these are certain tips when you are taking a class or when you're interacting with your students, then you can do. Keep the easy part easy. Okay, keep the easy part easy. Students will who learn and think differently have an added layer of difficulty. A student with dyslexia might struggle to understand different complex directions. Students with the ADHD or executive functions issue might find it difficult to break assignments down into the management chunks. These challenges can cause more frustration and stress that can interrupt the learning process. You can help reduce these barriers to learning by using best practices for designing online assignments. Try these ideas. Now, for example, teach your students how to access class information, simple directions you can give to the student. Be consistent in how class materials are organized and presented. Okay, now next, find new ways to meet students needs. Students with individualized education program should still get up the accommodations they need during distance learning. Their needs or accommodations might look different in the new learning environment. Through work with students and their families to find creative solutions, and you have PTNs, online PTNs, so that you can work with their families. How do the students learn? How much time do they spend on net? What do they serve on net? You can ask the parents. Does the student need a daily checkup? Can students learn how to use self-management studies like timer or goal tracker? You can all use all these things. For online classes, you can also need to ensure that lessons are accessible or not. Students, are they getting the material on time, or they are able to access them, whatever you have supplied? For example, Google Classroom, sometimes the material doesn't open. So check it out. Okay, make sure that materials can be read by a screen reader, and that students who use text to speech technology know how to use it. Some video streaming apps can be sent to the students how to operate, how to work with that. Google Hangout offer live captioning, that is using best practices like these can help you make you sure the lesson is accessible. So you can use those apps. You may need to be even more creative in how you provide accommodations. For example, if you have students with dyslexia needs materials read out loud, some apps are there which read out loud. So if the student is you might consider scheduling a call with that student or providing a recording. You can provide the student with the recording so that he can hear it on his comfort, with his comfort of his mobile phone. Now brainstorm ideas with your school, the student and their families to figure out how to meet the individual needs. That too you can do. Okay. Now keep the easy part easy. That a student who learn and think differently can have an added layer of difficulty. A student with dyslexia may be having problem, or next, keep up positive relations with the students and families. Next is that here, make sure the students understand the lesson. Find out whether the students have what they have need to do their classwork. If they require any help from you, you can assign them help. Teachers will need to work with their school district and families, figure out the best, what is the best for the student, how can I help, how the families can help, how the community can help the students. You know, if there is a digital library in the community campus, then they can access that library. Okay. Then students who are struggling, frequent checks in can help you figure out why they are struggling and what might be the problem with them. Remember, traumas or long-term stress can make it very difficult to focus on the social schoolwork. Your students experiences variety of stresses, like they might not be able to complete the assignments in time, or they may not be getting the downloads in time. Okay, so and in order to complete the time, so there may be stress for the students. So you have to check out all these things and keep the students positive, and develop in them the positivity that you can do. You give them extra time if possible. Okay, so make sure that students understand their lessons, and uh, if whatever the difficulty they have, if they have any difficulty, they can now they can adjust. Okay. Now, what is the best?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. I hope time is over. If you have, sorry, I have lots of time, lots of things to be shared. But next time, any other time. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Am I
Thank you,
audible?
ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I
Thank you,
hope you
ma'am.
all
Thank you,
are
ma'am.
free. I hope. Huh?
Thank
It's time for
you.
lunch now. I hope. Huh?
Ma'am, you have nicely presented, ma'am. Very nice. Thank
Okay.
you,
Okay.
madam.
Thank you so much.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you, ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Very nice,
Mhm.
ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. All the best from my side. Okay. Thank you, all of you. Mhm.
Thank you,
Okay, thank
ma'am.
you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Shall I leave now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am.